Yes, fight fans, body and mind sports, my people. You are fully appreciated in this round, my guys, my people. So let's talk AJ versus Jake Paul. Yes, I know that you guys know that the fight ain't happening, but this is my take, my guys, my people. So just bear with me a few minutes, my guys, my people. So the fight is not happening apparently because both sides couldn't agree to terms to land the fight on the zone, with AJ signed to Matchroom to fight exclusively on the zone. So the fight has to happen on the zone, but I can't see why that meant that the fight had to be off, my guys, my people. Couldn't Jake Paul get his ass off of Netflix and fight AJ on the zone? Because as far as I know, Jake Paul is not exclusive to Netflix. He is only there on a fight to fight basis, my guys, my people. So he can definitely jump up to the zone and fight AJ. In fact, Jake Paul's last fight against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., a washed up Chavez Jr., by the way, that fight was on the zone. That fight was on the zone, my guys, my people. You know, so look, what I think the issue here is just this was just a promotional stunt, my guys, my people, by Jake Paul. A clear promotional stunt. He had no intentions of fighting Anthony Joshua. Jake Paul knows his limits, my guys, my people. In that Chavez Jr. fight, I'm sure he realized that he was no match for AJ, because he struggled in the very last rounds of that Chavez Jr. fight. He struggled badly, my guys, my people. So I'm sure he knows his limits. He knows that if he fights AJ, he gets beaten to a pulp. An absolute pulp, my guys, my people. So yeah, nothing to see here. It's just a promotional stunt, my guys, to magnify his name, have his name in everybody's ears, on everybody's lips, and of course to promote the fight which he really desires and has had this fight in the pipeline all along, and that is of course Gervonta Tank Davis. A very winnable fight for Jake Paul, simply because Jake Paul is 200 pounds and Gervonta Tank Davis is on 135 pounds. Cruiserweight versus lightweight, 65 pounds difference in weight. You know, so not a sanctionable fight, but it is happening. It is happening, my guys. It's not as big as AJ and Jake Paul, but it is still a massive fight, and most importantly, it is winnable for Jake. It is winnable, my guys, my people, albeit it will be an exhibition, labeled an exhibition, my guys, my people. But look, we're gonna spend a bit more time towards the end of this video to talk about Jake Paul versus Gervonta Tank Davis, my guys, my people. However, let's skip back to AJ. AJ being exclusive to the zone, right? But isn't Katie Taylor the same as well? They allowed her to fight on Netflix not once but twice against Amanda Serrano, my guys, my people. So why not AJ? Let me tell you, my guys, AJ is what you call prime asset. You can't compare Katie Taylor to AJ. AJ is #1 box office name at Matchroom, #1 box office name on the zone, right? He is up there, right? So yeah, why the hell is the zone gonna make a bad business move and have their star fight on Netflix, which has quickly become a rival network? It's quickly become a rival network, my guys, my people. They've got Canelo Crawford coming up, all right, billed to be the biggest fight in 10 years since Mayweather Pacquiao. And they've had Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, albeit a pantomime show. It was still a sanctioned bout and recognized as a pro bout. And the results on the fighters' records, my guys, my people. So yeah, as you can see there, Netflix is competition already. So why are they going to put their star fighter AJ on Netflix to boost their viewings and their platform, my guys, my people? It is competition time. In fact, the zone as well is looking to do exactly like Netflix come September, right? They are joining with Turkey Al Sheikh to go pay-per-view free, just like Netflix. So they are soon to become direct opposition in every way fathomable, my guys, be it business or entertainment, my guys, my people. With that said, that is all I have on AJ and Jake Paul. I think it's time to move ahead now and see, now that AJ not fighting Jake Paul, what is there for him to take, my guys, my people. Look, I don't care who AJ fights, as long as nothing gets in the way of AJ and Fury. We need that fight. I need that fight, my guys, my people. The only fight though that I wouldn't mind getting in the way is, of course, Joseph Parker. If that is only if he gets elevated to full WBO champion. If Usyk refuses to oblige his mandatory in Parker, my guys, my people. So if Parker gets elevated, I wouldn't mind AJ versus Parker. We know Team Parker and Parker won that fight. They want to avenge the loss Parker had at the hands of AJ. The first time they fought, it was also for the WBO strap, my guys. So does AJ fancy becoming champion again? What is his confidence right now? I don't know, but if he's feeling himself, I'm sure he would take it. If he's not, then of course we might get Tony Yoka, the man that they have been mentioning, and the word is that it could happen in Ghana. Both Frank Smith and Nick Cunningham, AJ's manager, have been scouting Ghana to look for an appropriate venue to host this fight, my guys, my people. And you know what, Tony Yoka versus AJ in Ghana, I would absolutely love AJ to fight in Africa. Don't really care where, just fight in Africa, my guys, my people. So yeah, Tony Yoka AJ next will definitely be great for a tune-up fight, leading to a Fury fight, my guys, my people. And I say, let's get it. Come on, my people. Let's now talk Gerald Big Baby Miller versus Michael Hunter, my guys, my people. Turki Al-Sheikh was targeting this fight for the 11th of September ahead of Saul Canelo Alvarez versus Crawford, which is actually taking place on the 13th of September in Las Vegas, the Allegiant Stadium, my guys, my people. So yeah, the fight is off. Miller versus Hunter is off, my guys, and it has been confirmed by Miller, both Miller and Hunter too. Miller is posted on social media a letter by, I believe, I've forgotten the first name, but the last name is Bash. He is a South LA boxing promoter, and basically the letter from Bash confirmed that the fight is off, my guys, my people. So it is official. TKO and Turkey looking not to go through with it because of the cease and desist letter that Don King sent to them to halt the fight, my guys, my people, because apparently Don King already had won a purse bid for 1.1 million to host Hunter versus Kubrat Pulev, who is the WBA regular champion, my guys, my people. He won the purse bids for them to fight on the 23rd of August originally, but because of the argument that he has with Turkey and TKO, Don King has, the fight has now been postponed to the 4th of October. The fact that he has gone on and postponed the fight, right, and set a date means that he's been talking with the WBA. Don King is in conversation with the WBA, right? Because without their consent, their strap wouldn't be on the line, right? It wouldn't be on the line. So the fact that the WBA has allowed him to reschedule means that the WBA are in agreement with Don King that he has the rights. He has the rights, my guys, my people, to host Hunter versus Pulev, my guys. And so Turkey and TKO, they have backed off. So does that mean now that we're definitely going to be getting Hunter versus Pulev? Well, not according to Hunter, But first of all, according to this, the information that I have, is that Epic Sport, they were not involved in the purse bids. You know, Don King was the sole bidder for Hunter versus Pulev. Yeah, the Epic Sports, who were in fact representing Pulev, right? They didn't get involved in the purse bid simply because Michael Hunter told them that he is a free agent and not signed and not signed to Don King. So that's a bit sketchy. It's a bit sketchy and warrants them enough to pull out the fight. Looking at Don King's dodgy history, corrupt business deals, they pulled out of the fight, my guys, my people. Not only that, but they appealed for Pulev and Hunter to be nullified, my guys, my people. Not once but twice the appeal was rejected by the WBA, my guys, my people. And now, according to Hunter, he says that the WBA and Team Pulev, that is Epic Sports, they are in arbitration. So this fight, an arbitration takes a hell of a long time. Sometimes, you know, so they could be waiting a hell of a long time. So even Hunter and Pulev not guaranteed. That would have been great for Hunter, who has squandered opportunities in the past. A real talented fighter. How good he is now, I really don't know. I really don't know, my guys. One thing I do know, though, he was so good, it gave Usyk possibly the best challenge of his career. Controversial ending. Some people thought Hunter won, including myself, my guys. That was at cruiserweight. Hunter so good, he was signed by Matchroom, and Eddie got him an opportunity for an interim fight against Hrgovic, which Hunter didn't take, and since then he's gained the reputation of someone hard to work with. So yeah, if you're asking why is he signed to Don King, that should explain to you. You gain that sort of reputation, hard to work with, and nobody wants to work with you. You don't have no choice but to take the opportunity available, and that is Don King. Somebody that Hunter complains cheated him in a fight that he had in Uzbekistan or somewhere like that. Or was it the Cheney fight that he had? Was it the Cheney fight? He says that Don King owes him money anyway. Well, that's not a surprise, and that is not a surprise, because Don King is well known, has a history of corrupt business. Yeah, so Miller versus Hunter not happening. This will mark 3 consecutive bouts that Miller has been scheduled to be involved in, and never come into fruition, my guys, my people. They already scheduled and everything. The first one was Derek Chisora, then Wardley, then this last one was Michael Hunter, my guys, my people. 3 consecutive scheduled bouts, my guys. You know, and two in the last 2 months. That is Hunter and of course Wardley. With that said, on to the next. Come on, my guys, my people. So yeah, David Adeleye got a chance to talk about his fight with Hrgovic that took place past weekend, right? Yeah, well, 2 weekends ago. He had an opportunity to talk about it with Box Nation. He says he has no excuses, but does admit he does have some things, some tweaks here and there that he needs to do in order to you know, improve, in order to improve. He said he does want to stay at world level. That statement there makes no sense to me, because he's not at world level. Hrgovic was his first attempt to try and penetrate world level, and he was unable to. He did put up a brave attempt, though, I would have to say. You know, even though he got dropped in the 8th round, he himself nearly turned it around and nearly dropped Hrgovic. Could have stopped him, I reckon, had he had the know-how, because he ran out of ideas. He ran out of ideas, clearly, and his punch output throughout the fight, not enough. So not working enough in the ring to win. whenever he gets that step up, that crucial step up. He did it against Wardley and now against Hrgovic, my guys, my people. However, somebody in Adeleye who has clearly admitted he has room to improve is now saying that in his very next fight, right? Imagine, this is somebody that needs to guarantee himself a good win, right? In his next fight, right? I can't think of who to put him up next for now, you know, but it's certainly not Itauma, as Adeleye says. It doesn't mind Itauma next. Bring it. Not Itauma. Wardley, not Wardley. I know they have a fight in the past, but Wardley is looking sharp, much sharper than Adeleye. And they said Daniel Dubois. Now, if somebody looking to rebuild, he wouldn't be calling out those names right now because they clearly beat him, I reckon, you know. Yeah, they will clearly beat him. They will clearly beat him. So Adeleye, to me, it looks like he's loving that Saudi money that he got with the Hrgovic fight. And it looks like he has no interest in making it all the way to the top of the division, getting a championship shot, because look, he's not going to beat none of these names. And will these names fight him anyway? I doubt it. I doubt it. Itauma in title contention, why would he care about a Adeleye? And so is Wardley. So why would they care? I think he called out Parker as well. How bizarre. How bizarre, my guys, my people. But Adeleye versus Dubois though would have been good, because Dubois coming off a loss. They're both coming off a loss. I don't think Adeleye would win, but it could be a good comeback fight for Dubois, my guys, my people. With that said though, I think Adeleye is looking to cash out. He's loving that Saudi money. Otherwise, why would you be mentioning Itauma? Dubois. Dubois, and who else did he mention? And Wardley. Anyway, forget about it. Let me forget about it. You know. Talking about Daniel Dubois, the news about him sacking his trainer in Don Charles. Dubois has spoken on this with Talk Sports, and he says he's definitely disappointed in his performance. He believes that his defense needs to improve. Definitely needs to improve. I do agree with him 100%, and I'm glad that he observed that and saw that. But I'm just so disappointed that they sacked Don Charles. Why? Because you guys lost to Usyk twice. Like, who does not lose to Usyk? Who has beaten Usyk? Come on, man. They done him bad. But what's the decision Dubois to make? Did he make the decision to sack Charles? I don't think he did. But I think when the decision was made, it didn't do much to resist either. You know, I think the decision possibly came from his father, Stan Dubois, who has been looking to get rid of Donny since the first Usyk loss. Go check it out. Go check it out in my last video, my guys, my people. So yeah, I don't think it did much to try and keep Donny. I don't think he did anything at all, because I don't think he rates Donny that much. I'm sorry to say, I don't think Dubois rates Donny that much, because he's never been thankful for Donny getting him through the greatest run of his career and to championship, only losing to the very best, a future Hall of Famer. So unappreciative, totally unappreciative. But I'm glad that for Donny, at least, you know, Queensbury have just not thrown him away like that. He will be managing, or should I say training, Tony Yoka. So he might be involved in the AJ Tony Yoka fight, if that fight happens, my guys, my people. And I hope he does, and he gets another beautiful payday. If it happens in Ghana, he could be back in Ghana, my guys. For last but not least, of course, Gervonta Tank Davis, Jake Paul, my guys. as I started with. So we're better to finish, my guys, my people. So this fight is taking place November the 15th in Atlanta. It has been confirmed, my guys, my people. Did I not tell you that Gervonta Tank Davis did not have to rematch Lamont Roach to right the controversy of the first fight in order for him to go and fight Jake Paul? He did not have to rematch Roach. And now the evidence is clear. That what Jake Paul was trying to do to Tank, he was trying to pull a trump card, a boss card, to say, I am the guy. I call the shots. Which is absolutely preposterous that Tank's team, they didn't see this. They didn't see this because he's the bigger name than Jake Paul. Box office, he's the bigger name than Jake Paul. He is. You know, if not for Mike Tyson, yeah, Jake Paul wouldn't be anywhere near Tank at box office, and that's true. That's the truth. You know, so I don't know why Jake Paul could have Tank running around trying to get a rematch that he didn't even want with Roach in order to fight Jake. As if Jake's fan base care about whether he beats an elite fighter or not. That's not what his fan base watches fights for. They're just pure casual fights. They're just looking for a bust up, right? Anything that's a spectacle, two guys punching each other, their favorite YouTuber involved, and that is it. It's a slap up fight. Jake Paul fights. So yeah, definitely did not require Tank having to beat Roach, right? You know, silly Billy, Team Tank. So I wonder who the A side is going to be in this fight. I'm now wondering, does Tank even know that he's the A side? Does he even know? And how much is he getting for this fight? I'm hearing astronomical figures out of this world. 200 million. Shut up. Shut up. Mike Tyson did not get 200 million to fight Jake. Definitely not 200 million for Tank, my guys, my people. Crazy stuff, my guys, my people. So yeah, now it's clear. Gervonta Tank Davis did not have to fight Roach, right? Okay. But what is even more clear, the rematch didn't happen. That the rematch that Roach was seeking, that Tank was seeking, did not happen. Tank, Dr. Roach, shook Dr. Roach to fight Paul. And there are other fights there. The Shakur fight. Come on, man. Come on. You're damaging your legacy, my guy. You're damaging your legacy. Just shows that his heart is no longer in the game. He doesn't have any passion for it no more. Has said several times, I am going to retire. So I guess maybe he's cashing out now. His retirement fight is with Jake Paul. So it seems. I could be wrong. But do you blame me for assuming that, my guys, my people? Well, anyway, my guys, this fight here, Jake Paul and Gervonta Tank Davis, it's not sanctionable just because of the disparity in difference in weight. 200 pounds Jake Paul, a cruiserweight, versus a lightweight that's 135 pounds in Gervonta Tank Davis. Are you mad? Clearly goes against the rules of Queensberry, right? So not a sanctionable bout, my guys, my people. It is not going to go on their fight record. So great for Gervonta Tank Davis. What if this big guy beats the shit out of him? Because Tank is tiny. 5'5" versus Jake Paul 6'1", my guys, my people. So clearly not a sanctionable bout, as I have said. So it will be an exhibition bout, as they are advertising that it would be, right? And because of the size difference, everybody is picking, well, almost everybody picking Jake Paul to win, and I'm not surprised. However, I am going to differ. I don't really put too much to size and height difference in fights. I respect skills much more, my guys, my people. However, in this case, I believe it is when it starts to matter. All right, I believe it's when size really starts to matter. But bizarrely, I'm still going to pick Tank to win, my guys, my people. Maybe Tank can run him ragged in the ring. Jake Paul, who gets tired in his fights. Then when Jake Paul gets tired, Tank can get on the inside and beat up the knees. Like, where else could he reach? Listen, joke aside, probably a bad joke, right? But look, maybe he can beat up the body, and that's how he wins, right? That is how he wins, I reckon. But it is an exhibition at the end of the day. Maybe both teams behind closed doors come to an agreement that Tank wins, because a loss to Tank is way more damaging. You know, it's not as if Jake Paul fights don't look like they're rigged anyway, because I believe his fights are rigged. I believe his fights are rigged. Look at the Chavez Jr. fight. Didn't do nothing throughout the fight, and then the last three or two rounds looked like he could have easily beaten Jake if he really wanted, which is crazy. Absolutely crazy, my guys, my people. One more thing though, Jake Paul did announce that there will be random drug testing for this fight, which is great to hear. It will be conducted by USADA, not VADA for once, which in the past, I don't know how many years, but seems to have monopolized the sport. I've not heard of any these promotions using another agency. In fact, I've not heard of USADA since Floyd Mayweather, requested that Pacquiao get drug tested. So that is a long time ago. So very refreshing now that we're hearing of at least another drug agency, because a monopoly in any case is never good. And especially now that we know that VADA is connected with Victor Conte, who has a very dark history with PED, right, involved with PED cases, and a lot of fighters highly suspicious of VADA right now. I even heard I was listening to Brian Norman talk about this. So yeah, it's great to hear about USADA being used in this one, my guys, my people. But that being said, that's all I have for you on this one, my guys, my people. Before you leave, do like, do share, subscribe, of course, and of course, stay blessed as usual, my guys, my people, and thank you very much for watching, my guys, my people.